hear the same sounds everywhere. The city's so systematic. Some of these corners got no color. At least the people ain't monochromatic. Time to go hang out somewhere else. Nowhere is home. I'm nomadic. The grind is taking me captive. Watch out, the streets are full of snakes. Switch it up, be adaptive, cause all the sharks out here are fake. The climate here is erratic. It's grey out here, it's plastic. Toxic burn, we ain't so reactive. Raise concern, cause man know the fact is it's mayhem out there. It's getting drastic. When human nature is to want more, set it up automatic. Feel the pull deep down in your core. Stretch it all, it's elastic. It's grey out here, it's dramatic. General health is growing sporadic. Never diagnosed as asthmatic. I swear these gases have got psychoactive. These man-made landscape mean progress. Somehow it feels counteractive. Concrete, don't rot. Check the map, lost the plot. Cityscape, eyesore, cancer, afterthought. Money man, hot shot, let's build a juggernaut. Hit the jackpot, this here is the hot spot. Contract terms, don't care, man forgot. Young ones, cough up blacks, not, it's a lot. Rage at the rebels, they might squat. Don't wanna bother with the how, why and whatnot. Tick tock, pause and you get clocked. Can't keep up, get mocked, struggle and you get rocked. In a minute, my train's here.
Please stand clear of the door.
I need it right now. I see madness, but I'm electric. I never really get shocked. London, New Delhi, Paris and Bangkok. Architects figure it out. City planners are ad hoc. A tempo like chop chop. Man-made machines be farming the cream of the crop. I want that shiny, looking brand new like it's fresh out the box. Made in smoke. Waste man will come clean up no more. Watch their MPs go throw a strop. Them lot in suits travel all over each other just to get to the goddamn top. High-rise and high-rise, block after block. Metallic tools make the concrete pop. I ain't an athlete, but I'll try bump the bus with a quick jump, skip and a hop. Life is for living, you get one shot. Who cares about them trying to boycott? Here's your resources. Manufacturing, get rid of the stock. Will it ever stop? Came here to find some silence, but it ain't really silent. Peace ain't trying all that hard. It's still as loud as violence. Wild things have me smiling. Earth and I reconciling. The sounds of the sea and small things like shells are beguiling. And I must confess, the jungle I left was just stress. Feeling rejuvenated, watching water and rock coalesce. My psyche's been given a rest. This is what freedom must feel like, I guess. Flowers remind me I was disassociated. Full of hate like a man possessed. A renewal from in the ravine. forces are felt but unseen. I have established deep-seated connection. I am sky, land, and marine. Terror, amazement, horror, and awe, our world is there to explore. Roots run so deep they feel sore. 'Cause I'm certain I'll be back at war come Monday, but before I do, I ought to take a dip beyond the shore.
I wish we lived where chimpanzees do. But ants also have very cool features. I'm just really hoping I can get an ant. An ant would be pretty cool for our show. Paw Patrol, be there on the double. Good thing spiders can't fly, but some can jump. Is this a jumping spider? Nope. Good. Little wolf spider. She has an egg case attached to her bottom, her butt. Ooh, really cool, really cool. Yeah, I found something. Oh, blurry one. I couldn't get him in focus. I found a tiny cool isopod. Why are you filming me? Why are you not filming him? Are you filming me filming him?
Yep.
Dada, do you think there's more individual plants than people in the world? Are rabbits and bunnies the same thing? Are millipedes a kind of worm? Do ants help aphids? A bug went up my nose. Okay, squeezed him back out. So, like, are you recording every single thing I say? Well, I got someone here. It's a little millipede. It's hard to find millipedes when they're in dirt, the color of them, but I have very good eyesight, so I detected millipede. I got it in a vial, so it's perfect. Oh, we got two. One is riding on the other. Oh, cool, they're mating. They're mating. Whoa, he's so that bee is really cool. Spider on its web. I can see his web, Daddy. He's a cool sighting. Oh, I found a really cool specimen. He's not any beetle. I see the black spots. We collected a ladybug. Oh, he's cool. I need to get some more vials. I'm using them up very quickly. We're using up vials very quickly. Oh, I got a really good one. Dad, we really need to show Mama this.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Mr. Worm. It's a worm. I found it in Walnut Springs Park. Earthworms keep living a happy life if they're even cut in half. They help the earth by making soil from their poop. I'm holding a little baby bumblebee. We have a lot of cool bugs here, and other people in some other countries don't. Click. Oh, that was a pretty good one, actually. I had lots yesterday to my photo album, and today I'm gonna add more. Can we use some of the pictures? Can we use the pictures of the species of bug we find in our show?
Oh, yeah.
We're finding a lot of cool stuff. It's the Bug Extravaganza. Let's name the show Bug Extravaganza.
Citizen Zoo is a new organisation. We aspire to live in a world filled with wildlife, and we see communities as the key, the heart of the solution to bringing back species and restoring ecosystems. And we work in a whole range of projects, from restoring water voles, rewilding our urban environments, and even trying to bring back large marsh grasshoppers.
We started working on the large marsh grasshopper project because we think it is one of the most handsomest species of grasshopper in the UK, but it's also one of the rarest. It was once found throughout the east and southeast of England and is now only found in a few small pockets of the south of England. So a couple of years ago we got together with Natural England, the Wildlife Trust and Norfolk Wildlife Trust to set up a project to save them. And so what we do every year is we go down to these pockets and collect wild hoppers.
We want to ascertain that we're not damaging the site by taking too many from any particular site that we go to. So we'll survey the site and get an idea of total numbers to begin with. And we'll spread out in a line and then walk slowly across. We'll count everything we see or hear as we go through. It's mainly the males that are calling, and they're calling by flicking their back leg off their wing, making a clicking sound.
In this country, it's our biggest grasshopper by quite a distance. The nymphs are fairly toned down, they're brown and grey and black, but when they turn adults, you get this wonderful green, yellow insect with red hind legs.
We're counting both males and females, and we have one person who's acting as a recorder, making notes of what the group comes across. And on the basis of that, if there's a decent number, we'll go back through the site and we'll collect 1 in every 10 individuals. So we're collecting 10% of what we record.
And what we then do is, together with our volunteers, who we call citizen keepers, we train them in grasshopper husbandry to rear these hoppers to adulthood.
3 years ago, we had our first round of citizen keepers rearing the grasshoppers in their own homes, and it went better than we could have really imagined. We give them a tray with moist sand with egg pods in it, with 8 or 10 egg pods. Each of the egg pods contains 10 or 15 eggs, and so potentially they have enough eggs to rear 150 grasshoppers.
At the end of each season, we release them into the wild, and we've been doing that for a couple of years now. It's been a tremendous success, and we hope to continue the project until the species is restored throughout its historical range.
So far we've already introduced over 2,000 individuals into sites across Norfolk, some of which have become self-sustaining. And this is a fantastic example of using local communities to help support conservation projects.
It's been a fantastic project so far, and we're looking to expand it again next year. So for anyone who wants to get involved, it would be great if you could consider becoming members or donating to the project.
All right, is it paused? There's too many S's in there.
Oh, yes.
All right, I'm so sorry.
You can just edit this bit out, right?
All right, I'm there, I'm ready.
That's really what drives us and what motivates us to continue this project in the years to come.
That doesn't make sense. Start again.
$330 million years ago, the Yorkshire Dales were covered by a shallow tropical sea, teeming with marine life like shellfish and coral. As these organisms died, their shells and skeletons dropped to the seabed. This formed thick layers of calcium carbonate, which eventually turned into limestone.
In the last ice age, glaciers sculpted the landscape.
They carved valleys and scraped away newer layers of rock.
This revealed the buried limestone, which still contains fossils of ancient sea creatures.
Because limestone can dissolve in water,
The Yorkshire Dales has many interesting features, like caves and limestone pavement.
many wild plants grow in this unusual habitat.
Rainfall in the Yorkshire Dales drains the rivers in its valleys. The River Ribble begins underneath the Ribblehead Viaduct
And flows through beautiful Ribblesdale.
Sheep farming has shaped the landscape.
With its iconic field barns and small pastures, there are specially adapted local sheep breeds,
including the famous Swaledale.
Dry stone walls were made from loose stones which were cleared from the land.
This created vertical habitats for plants and lichen,
And shelter for creatures like insects, wrens and stoats.
Some of England's last remaining traditional wildflower meadows are found here. These beautiful grasslands are home to many species, including northern brown Argus butterflies, curlews and colourful waxcap mushrooms. The three peaks of Pen-y-Ghent, Ingleborough and Whernside are among the best-known hills in the Yorkshire Dales.
Hello there.
Every year, thousands of people visit from around the world and attempt to walk all three in a day.
The bird's eye primrose flowers in May and June and can be found on the peaks of Ingleborough and Mallandale.
Rare orchids
like the early purple and the common spotted orchid make Yorkshire their home.
We are lucky to live in such a beautiful place
With such special landscapes and wildlife around us,
we all must work together to look after them so that future generations can enjoy them too.
Soy nativo de la comunidad. De aquí nací, aquí crecí, mis abuelos son de aquí. Este lugar fue de mi abuelo revolucionario. Esta parte de terreno ha venido en sucesión de mi abuelo a mis padres, a mi papá y de mi papá a nosotros y ya pues de mí para mis hijos. Desde hace como 40 años yo he venido pastoreando a los animales, a los chivos, a los borregos. El típico día para mí empieza a las 4 o 5 de la mañana. Hay que levantarse y pues ya amanece y salimos y así nos la llevamos. Sí estamos conscientes de la cuestión ambiental. Este es el pulmón de Ciudad de México y de Cuernavaca, de Morelos, ¿no? Lo que yo quiero es el respeto de la gente hacia el bosque, que se concientice qué debemos hacer para conservar esto, ¿verdad? Las actividades que se han implementado son varias, muchas, ¿verdad? Una de ellas es estar pendiente de los animales. Otra es el pastoreo dirigido y el semiestabulado. Es un esfuerzo más, ¿no? Que vale la pena y no es porque tenga grandes ganancias. Ustedes saben que normalmente el productor es el que menos gana, pero sí son grandes satisfacciones. La satisfacción de poder contribuir, eso sí. Bueno, lo que a mí me inspira a seguir continuando es ver mejor el bosque. El saber que alguien se esté fijando en lo que hago, eso es satisfactorio. Tengo 9 nietos, entonces ellos ven lo que hago y entonces yo quisiera dejarle a este bosque buenos nietos, más que buen bosque a mis nietos, ¿verdad? Porque para mí es al revés, ¿no? Sin personas conscientes el bosque nunca va a subsistir y con personas conscientes el bosque puede mejorar.
Secretaría de Medio Ambiente y Recursos Naturales.
I wanted to become a ranger. I remember once when I was a little girl, I realized that protecting these animals, it's a good thing. It grew in me when I was schooling. I realized that I can do this, become one of those who are going to be protecting these animals, these trees. And that's why I am now a ranger, protecting and conserving the environment. I'm working in the field, patrolling, monitoring. It was my passion to do this work, so I always feel proud. The community where I'm coming from, they thought that this job is not supposed to be for women. It's supposed to be for men. So I worked hard at that time, and when I went back to my community a few months later, they were like, "You've made it." All the girls now knew that this job is not only for men only, but for also women. Sometimes the elders, they call me when they have their gatherings, when they have their meetings. They like see me as a leader, see me as a person who can help out in my community. For us, we are not armed. If community sees us as a threat, will this job go on? No. That's why we are actually not having, don't have guns. And right now the community tends to give us support. But I think if we could be having arms, the community would have seen us as a threat. Right now I'm the head trainer, and I have to train my other rangers the knowledge which I have to pass it through to the rangers. The skills which I have, I've been taught many skills, so I have to pass it to the rangers. It's a role that I'm proud of. We are working hard, we are pursuing what our lives wanted, and I'm here as a female ranger working with Wildlife Works, and I'm very happy to be here. And I'm very proud to be a female ranger.
It was described as the rarest bat in the world. One of the biggest challenges at the beginning, people really didn't like them. For them, they think that the bat is a threat. That's the main issue, to make people really care for them. I like the bats especially because they are like, wow, they're really beautiful when you see them in the wild. When you arrive in their roost, you see you have a big tree and all of them hanging. Just imagine a Christmas tree with all the bats hanging around. You know, they're really beautiful. My name is Stephen Kiesakai. I come from Rodrigues Island. I've been working with the Rodrigues fruit bat around 16 years. In English, we call it the flying fox. They are good pollinators, so they will go from tree to tree, like the bees. They are good seed dispersal, because that's why when we go in the wild around Rodrigues, we see like huge endemic trees around waterfalls. We can understand it was from bats, you know. And when they eat it, they will propagate it. They are recreating the forest. So it's really, really important for us to save our bats. Rodrigues was really destroyed. So we've lost our primary forest. During the 70s, the population was really low. It was like less than 70. It was described as the rarest bat in the world. The main threat for our fruit bat is climate change. We have huge cyclone. It's like now in Rodrigues, like dry. And if they don't have fruits, it will be really bad for them. And that's why the aim is to have more forests, to restore more forests, and to recreate their habitat, to save them from extinction. When WAF arrived in Rodrigues, that's what the main issue was to recreate the natural forest, the habitat, and then we had the help of Chester Zoo.
This is something that Chester Zoo have been supporting for decades now.
We work in 4 nature reserves, so we are planting some more native plants for them to have their food. One of the biggest challenges, like at the beginning, people really didn't like them. For them, they think that the bat is a threat. We go around villages giving talk to people to sensitize them and to know the importance of our fruit bats. And even going in school, also giving talks, yes, to kids, and organizing events also all around the bats. We try to make them understand the importance of the fruit bat, because doing conservation work is not just us, but we have to bring the people with us to do the job. It's a big challenge, it's really a big challenge, but now they care for the bat.
We have a number of students who are conducting scientific research on the population data that's being collected by the teams here. So with this collaborative approach between academics, zoos and NGOs, we're getting an amazing set of information and data about this species.
Every November we do like a huge bat count, so that's why we have volunteers also coming, like students, and then people in the neighborhood.
Conducting an island-wide bat count like this allows us to estimate an entire population size, so that's a really useful conservation tool.
For 1 week we go around the roofs, around the island, and then we have a number. Last bat count, last year, last November, it was around 25,000. And they are recreating the forest. Maybe next November we'll have more, we think.
In the French language, the word for sea and the word for mother have the same pronunciation. Mère, mère. I always found this appropriate. You have so much in common. No matter what happens, you'll still be there. No matter what I do, I will always find comfort in you. Being next to you calms me, brings me peace, a momentary relief from the mountains outside, a bubble suspended in time. Sometimes I love you, sometimes I feel like I don't want to be there, but it always comes back to love, and my mind will never change about you. No matter what happens outside, everything will be fine. There for you, rooting for you, protecting you, because as I get older, as I understand more things, this is my role, my duty, to stand for you, to give you back, because you gave me so much. I am made of you, I am made of water. I will always be good in your arms, always have been.
Perkenalkan, nama saya Hasbi. Umur saya 32 tahun. Lebih kurang saya melaut sekitar 20 tahun. Ini laut ini kan warisan dari nenek moyang dahulu ya kami ya. Jadi kami sangat menjaga.
Masih ada. Kalau sekarang kita nggak lindungi, ke depan itu ikan tersebut nggak ada lagi.
Nama Adelia, pekerjaan nelayan Luk Peti.
Nama saya Salmi Harun. Saya sebagai nelayan Riga.
Nama saya Sejali. Saya adalah panglima laut yang dipercayai oleh nelayan saya ini.
My name's Holly Booth. I'm a conservation scientist and I work as a researcher at the University of Oxford, and I'm also the founder of a small local NGO called Kebersamaan Untuk Lautan. Our projects at the moment are focused on trying to encourage small-scale fishers to reduce their catches of critically endangered sharks and rays. Our approach is focused on compensating if they safely release critically endangered species, including hammerhead sharks and wedgefish. Wedgefish are a critically endangered species. They're at a high risk of going extinct. And this is primarily driven by overfishing, and also because their large dorsal fin is one of the most valuable fins in the international fin trade.
Penangkapan hiu dan pari di Aceh ini itu dikarenakan adanya permintaan seperti kulit, sirip yang semuanya itu diekspor. Hiu merupakan predator, dia yang menjaga ekosistem laut. Apabila hiu di lautan ini berkurang, maka otomatis alam tidak seimbang dan ikan-ikan di laut juga bisa punah.
Laut itu bagi masyarakat karena disitulah sumber kehidupan mereka, sumber pencarian rezeki mereka. Bila mana laut rusak, maka rusaklah rezeki mereka. Bila laut tidak bagus, maka tidak baguslah kehidupan masyarakat pesisir.
Penyelamatan hiu, kita jaga hiu dan laut, itu merupakan suatu kewajiban untuk kita lakukan untuk masa-masa akan datang.
The endangered sharks and rays hang out where the other fish hang out, and so they end up getting caught up in the nets and lines that are mainly targeting other fish. The endangered sharks and rays also have value for the local communities in terms of their food and income, and so they're typically brought back to the market and eaten or sold. And so our scheme is a pay-to-release scheme. Essentially, we are compensating the fishers for the money they could have otherwise sold the endangered sharks and rays for if they safely release the sharks and rays. And the way we do this is that we've distributed waterproof cameras, and if they submit a video to us showing a shark or ray being safely released, then we will give them some compensation.
Saya suka menyelamatkan hiu.
Saya senang melepas ikan hiu.
Saya senang melepaskan hiu.
Aceh Jaya sangat mendukung kelestarian untuk konservasi hiu dan pari di Aceh Jaya.
Lots of people often say that sharks and rays are worth more alive than they are dead because of their high tourism values. Often the people who benefit from the marine tourism and dive tourism industry are not the same people who necessarily benefit from fisheries or from catching sharks and rays. So lots of people go to Pulau Way to go scuba diving or snorkeling, and often they spend lots of money on these trips to enjoy the ocean. Lots of tourists feel like they have some kind of responsibility in protecting the marine environment as well. And so what we would like to do is channel some funding from the tourism industry into marine conservation. And so the idea might be that every tourist donates a small amount of money towards a community-based shark conservation fund, and that money is then used to fund the pay-to-release scheme in the long term.
Kebersamaan untuk lautan.
Let's save shark together.
Tiada hiu, tiada lautan, tiada kita.
A reciclagem tem muitos anos que eu faço isso aqui, viu? Muitos anos. Não vivo disso aqui, mas também não posso ver uma garrafa na represa que eu estou catando, entendeu? Aí. Amarrei dessa hora, chamada aí, os caras vão levar, ué. Quando eu via tanta sujeira nessa represa, eu dizia, dá para vender por tanto X. Eu digo, mas rapaz, é tão pouco, mas é assim mesmo. Eu não pensei no que eu ia conseguir assim, vender, certo? A minha decisão foi chegar e dizer assim, não, eu vou catar, porque estou fazendo bem para mim e para os outros, né? E essa boca, essa aqui, não precisa lavar não, viu? Agora precisa lavar é cruel, viu? Tem que lavar tudo isso aqui, tirar as terras, sabe? Tem dia que eu acordo 5 horas da manhã. Aí vou para a represa, tiro a rede. Chego 11 horas. Aí, quando for 11 horas, limpo os peixes que eu pego. Aí vou almoço. Aí saio 3 horas. Aí vou armar minha rede. Quando termino de armar a rede, o que eu vou fazer? Fico por ali, sabe? Aí vou para a reciclar já tem. É um dia que eu tiver coragem e fosse para lutar, eu vou lutar. Por isso aí. E se fosse para dar uma ajuda, é para ter um barco bom, um barco maior, ou um motor que fosse, tá entendendo? Mas para ter ajuda para isso aqui, não. Eu queria um equipamento que eu pudesse ter mais condições de catar mais, tá entendendo? Porque a minha dificuldade é, como eu não sei nadar e pegar um barco aí, a motor, e ficar no meio dessa represa. Porque aqui, quando chuva temporal, é cruel, é triste. Você vai dizer que o cavalo vem no aprende passado, igual eu não aprendi e acabou. É até bom, porque talvez se eu tivesse aprendido a nadar hoje, eu corresse risco nessa represa. Porque a gente fica muito afoito, não é verdade? E eu não. Eu, graças a Deus, quando eu vejo que o negócio não dá, não dá. E ando sem colete nisso aqui, viu? Sem colete. E nunca tive problema nessa represa. Há 30 e poucos anos, nunca tive problema nessa represa. Nunca, nunca. Porque todos nós surgimos isso aqui. Não vou culpar a gente lá de fora, nós mesmos fazemos isso aqui, né? Então, mas ninguém pensa no que está fazendo, no erro que está fazendo. Porque tem que achar, João, em Itacanto é assim disso aí, vai lá pegar. Eu vi lá em Itacanto é isso aí, mas ninguém chega a dizer assim, eu peguei um monte em Itacanto. Não. Então, se todos fizessem assim, gente, essa represa seria a represa mais limpa que teria, né? Eu sozinho que faço isso aqui. Sozinho. E Deus. Minha cena foi para isso, então eu tenho que continuar até o fim.
तुमी हें नुस्तें दर्या केन्ना चोयलां? हें नुस्तें आमी एलारो आनी गोंयचे दुसरे जाग्यार फाडको आनी खोरो मुटाय आनी इंग्लिशीन गिटारफिश मुटाय. एलारो मोरी आनी वागोळर एकी गोराब्याची ते एकी फॅमिलिया पोटाय. हें नुस्तें आमकां इंदी जायते कडेन मेळटा पूण गोंयांत खूब मेळटा कित्याक एलारो गोंयचे सोबीत उदकान रावपाक बरो लागता. चडशी ते गालजीबागा खूब चोवपाक मेळटा. जोम दिवपा येलारे आमचे दर्या येडेर येताय. तुमी जाणाय येलारो मनशा भाशेन जोलम दिताय. येलारोचें म्हत्व काम दर्याचे जमनीगे भलायकी राखपाचें. कित्याक हे जमनीयाचे कुल्यो, सुंगटां आनी दुसरें नुस्तें जियेता. व्हडलें नुस्तें आमकां फावडटा पूण आवडलें नुस्त्याक कुल्यो, सुंगटां आनी धाकलें नुस्तें खावपाक आवडटा. दुखाची खबर हें की जायते येलारे जाल्यार सांपडटाय. आख्खे दर्या हें नुस्तें नाच जावपाक लागलें. गोंया पासून हें नुस्तें नाच जावपाक लागलें कित्याक ती वर्सा 5 ते 10 भुरगीं दिवं शकता पूण बांगडे वर्सा 1000 ते 1,00,000 दिवं शकता. पूण येलारोक परत वाडपाक जायत तेंप लागता. जरी तर येलारे नाच जाल्यार आमचें नुस्तें मारयात जायतें नुस्तें मेळचें ना. आमी येलारांक केस वाचोवपा जाता. जरी तर तुमकां येलारो मेळ्ळ्यार तुमी तांकां दर्याचे उदका सोडचें. तेमकां सांबाळून जाल्यांतल्यान नाजाल्यार गोऱ्यान शिकलोलो जाल्यार तांकां बरे भाशेन उदकान उडोवपाचें. आतां इंडियेचे सरकारान येलारोक राखपा कायदो केला जशें कासोडा राखपा कायदो केला. हे कायद्या प्रमाणें आमकां येलारोक धरपा खावपा ना विकपा जायना. आमचें नशीब बरें की आमकां येलारो उदकान मेळटा आनी आम तेंक साल्वार करपा चालू दवरपा जाय. आमचे गोंयकार नुस्तेकारान सदांच दर्याक बरे तरेन सांबाळ्ळा आनी नुस्त्याक पासून बरे भाशेन राखला. आमी मेळून हें काम फुडें व्हरपा जाय.
The problems of the world are huge and I'm small. The rain has changed. Sometimes it falls and floods wash everything away. But at other times it does not come and the land dries up and dies. Isn't there a way to make it stop? The sea has changed. In some places it has gone up so that whole islands are sinking under the waves. In other places, it is filled with plastic that hurts the fish and birds. Isn't there a way to make it stop? The air has changed. It is filled with pollution. It's hard to breathe, and smoke traps the heat, making the earth warmer and warmer. Sometimes huge fires break out, burning down forests and trees. The problems of the world are huge, and I'm small, but there must be a way to make it stop. There are people who are trying. There are scientists who work out why all these changes are happening and figure out what we should do. There are activists who make their voices heard so that people know there is a problem. There are charity workers who protect the land and sea and the air from harm. And then there's you. And you, and you, and you. Scientists, activists, and charity workers can't do any of this without you. The problems of the world are huge. But together we are not small. Together there is nothing we can't do.
À toi. Bonjour, vous êtes bien sur T Nature. Jeudi 20 avril 2023 pour une nouvelle émission. Soumaya, veux-tu bien nous expliquer le programme du jour?
Bonjour, aujourd'hui nous allons faire la rencontre de Valérie Montes, une enseignante-chercheuse qui nous parlera de son métier et de la nature en ville, suivi d'un point météo avec Anna et Hamza.
Et qu'est-ce que c'est ton métier?
Je suis enseignant-chercheur. J'enseigne à l'université, la botanique. Alors ici, on est au Relais Nature, à Marseille. Donc on est en région méditerranéenne où il fait très chaud et très sec.
Est-ce que ça te plaît la science?
Alors la science me plaît beaucoup parce qu'elle me permet de comprendre le monde qui m'entoure. Et dans le contexte justement de changement climatique, on essaie de comprendre comment les êtres vivants vont survivre, notamment dans les villes où il va faire de plus en plus chaud et de plus en plus sec.
Bonjour, la météo du jour. Alerte de sécheresse. Le soleil brille dans toute la France. N'oubliez pas de vous hydrater et je vous laisse avec Hamza.
Bonjour, je vais vous parler des mesures de restriction du département de Bouches-du-Rhône. Attention, vous n'avez plus le droit d'arroser vos plantes et de laver vos voitures.
C'est sur le Relais Nature, donc un communiqué de presse du préfet des Bouches-du-Rhône qui dit qu'il y a une alerte renforcée sécheresse Uvonne, amont et aval. Les principales mesures de restriction sont l'interdiction de l'arrosage des espaces verts.
Si je résume tout ça, c'est qu'il y a une alerte de sécheresse.
Il y a une alerte de sécheresse qui va obliger les plantes à s'adapter et celles qui ne seront pas adaptées au manque d'eau ne vont pas survivre. On cherche d'ailleurs à comprendre quelles plantes on va pouvoir avoir dans nos environnements urbains pour justement continuer à nous procurer de l'ombrage, à nous rendre des services et qui vont pouvoir survivre à ce stress hydrique.
Mais on peut que les arroser la nuit comme tu as résumé.
Elle peut tout à fait pousser normalement si on l'arrose la nuit. C'est même la nuit qu'elle va utiliser les réserves d'eau qu'il y a dans le sol.
Et voici maintenant un reportage scientifique que nous allons comprendre comment les plantes survivent à la chaleur.
Le laiteron délicat est très très présent dans nos villes. Pourquoi? Parce qu'elle a comme stratégie de pouvoir pousser dans les sols très secs et qui sont peu profonds. Donc avec peu de nourriture et peu d'eau, elle arrive à se développer et on la croise partout, au bord des murs, dans les trottoirs. Elle va se loger dans tous les petits interstices de la ville. Elle adore les sols riches en azote. Et l'azote lui est apporté par les crottes de chiens. Donc on va la trouver dans les milieux un petit peu pollués. L'olivier arrive à pousser dans les milieux secs grâce à des adaptations au niveau de ses feuilles. La face inférieure de la feuille est recouverte de poils qui lui permet de saturer l'air en humidité et ainsi d'être dans un microclimat plus frais. La face supérieure de sa feuille est recouverte d'une cuticule, un vernis, une substance hydrophobe qui va lui permettre de limiter les pertes d'eau par évapotranspiration. Enfin, il présente des petites feuilles dont la surface réduite permet une fois encore de limiter la perte d'eau par évaporation et ainsi de résister au stress hydrique. Le genêt d'Espagne survit à la sécheresse grâce à l'absence de feuilles. La photosynthèse qui est réalisée par les feuilles en temps normal est faite par la tige. L'absence de feuilles lui permet de ne pas perdre d'eau par évapotranspiration. Le cactus est la championne des plantes adaptées à la sécheresse. Elle va tout d'abord stocker l'eau dans sa tige, puis économiser l'eau avec des feuilles transformées en épines. Les côtes qui sont présentes vont permettre d'ombrager la surface de la tige et de pouvoir concentrer l'eau à la base de la plante lors des pluies.
Et maintenant, une page de pub. N'oubliez pas de boire de l'eau ou sinon vous finirez cyclo.
Bravo. Vous pouvez vous mettre à l'ombre. Allez, à votre tour. C'est parti, ma petite goutte d'eau préférée, on y va. Il est déjà en sueur, c'est bien.
Je suis le soleil, et moi c'est Mister Chat. Dans le pas tous, je suis le tournesol, je suis la veille. On est la vie de tous les jours, on est la vie de tous les jours, la vie de tous les jours, la vie de tous les jours. On est la vie de tous les jours, on est la vie de tous les jours.
Planet Earth is perfect for life. It is the perfect distance from the sun, and so the perfect temperature. It has all the ingredients for life. Everything is perfectly balanced to maintain a thriving planet. But climate change is tipping that balance. There are more extreme conditions, more unpredictability. There are problems that feel overwhelming. Are you feeling powerless? Are you feeling like nothing can be done? Well, take a trip down the Red River. Follow me. The Red River flows through Vietnam. There's a project running here that inspires young people to listen to stories of their towns and villages. The young people listen and record. They collect stories of fishing and traveling on boats, of storms, flash floods and landslides, of families, of things changing and things staying the same. Hundreds of stories that flow like the river around them. There were stories of extremes, too little water in the dry season and too much when it rained. There was a story of how the cardamom that families had relied on to sell was no longer growing in the forest due to more extreme weather. There was a story about a mother who, when her husband died, had her land taken away from her. There was the story of a terrible flood that washed away houses, food, and livelihoods. Now, the strange thing about listening to stories is that a story is like a seed. When it is told to you, it's planted. But that is not the end of its life. The stories grew inside the young people. They made them ask questions. They made them talk. They made them explore and wonder. And the more they heard, the more they began to see that there was hope where before they could see none. Upstream, the people in the flood had not given in. They had joined hands and worked together, getting things up high and taking care of each other. Villagers had started to grow bamboo to stop the banks of the river eroding. They grew tea to protect them from flooding and create a new income. The young people went to the authorities and told them the story about the single mother whose husband had died, and she was given more assistance. The young people didn't want these stories of disaster and hope to be ignored. They didn't want them to get washed away in the floods or broken apart by the wind. They wanted to turn the stories into something. A young woman listened to the stories and turned them into a comic strip about a dragonfly who predicted the rain by flying low. Not everyone heeded the dragonfly's warning, but those who lost their crops were helped by others who had collected their harvest early. A young man took out his phone and started to make a film about the mangrove forest. Trees had been dying as rising sea levels meant an increase in salt water further up the river. He filmed the community-based mangrove protection groups and the action the government was taking. The young people shared the stories they had collected with an indigenous water puppetry troupe who had been part of a long tradition of telling stories about life along the river. The water puppetry troupe then began to wonder if they could use their performances in a different way. The flipbooks, drawings, podcasts, films, puppet shows, and presentations that the young people made did something to the stories. They made the stories stronger. These weren't films and books and poems made by people far away, from places no one had ever been to. They were stories made here, right at home, and because of that, the young people saw that they could change their endings. They could act. The young people kept going, working independently, and keeping the project alive. The stories had been brought to life. Listening, recording, turning stories into something, sharing, and taking action had become a kind of process. The young people found they could adapt to how the climate was changing. They found a way to talk about it, to not be frightened into inaction, to communicate, connect, adapt, hold hands, and work together. The project had worked. It had made a change, and it continues. Goodbye and good luck.